Caroline Parker sat on her third date of the week, looking sadly at the fish she was picking at with her fork. She thought about how many uninteresting suitors she'd had to endure, each one more disappointing than the last. She couldn't escape the growing sense of frustration and hopelessness, wondering if she would ever meet a man who would truly understand her or live up to her expectations. The soft lighting of the restaurant only emphasized her melancholy, making what was happening almost surreal. Across from her sat another middle-aged suitor who was trying to impress her by puffing and talking about his dubious accomplishments. But Caroline wasn't interested. She realized at once that his words did not match his deeds. His appearance and physical form did not match the feats he described. The man was half gray, with noticeable bald spots, a slouching posture, and a pale complexion, all signs that age was taking its toll. Of course, Caroline was no longer 18. But in her 48 years, she was in great shape, with trim arms and a graceful figure that drew attention wherever she went. Her glowing skin and bright eyes often made people think she was no more than 30, a testament to her disciplined lifestyle and natural vitality. Despite her youth, she had long ago despaired of finding a man who met her expectations financially, physically, and emotionally. Over time, her standards lowered. She began dating men she would never have thought of 5 years ago. Her preferences also changed. Now she was looking for a man who was soulful and well-read, quality she had overlooked in her younger years. Her present companion, however, left her indifferent. Sitting there, she wondered how he had managed to get her a date at all. In the end, she almost ran away from the restaurant. The evening air was cool, but Caroline decided to forgo a cab and walked along the riverbank. An hour's walk would help her relax and distract herself. The wind playfully ruffled the hem of her skirt, awakening memories of youthful antics, such as forgetting to wear underwear on a windy day. Lost in her thoughts, she was startled by the honking of a car horn. "Excuse me, miss. May I offer you a ride?" A familiar voice called out. Caroline was about to reply sarcastically when she turned and recognized the driver. It was her brother-in-law, Andrew. "Andrew? What a surprise." "Hi," she said cheerfully. "Caroline, I was driving home from work and thought I saw you." "Is everything okay?" asked Andrew. You could hear the worry in his voice. "Oh, I'm fine, just taking a walk." Andrew's sharp gaze swept over her from head to toe. "Let me give you a ride. It looks like it's going to snow soon." "Okay, thanks," she agreed. Caroline liked Andrew. In his 25 years, he was ambitious, driven, and successful. She remembered how he'd volunteered to help her fix a broken garden gate and spent an entire Saturday working tirelessly, despite his busy schedule. His genuine kindness and commitment to finishing the job had made a lasting impression on her. He had already earned himself a nice apartment and a car. Caroline often envied her daughter, realizing how lucky she was to have such a husband. Tall, slender, and athletic, Andrew was the kind of man most women dreamed of. Sitting in the passenger seat, Caroline looked at his hands, strong, skillful hands, confidently handling the controls of the car. She couldn't help but imagine what it would be like to be the center of his attention. "Which building is yours?" Andrew's voice interrupted her reverie. "The third one," she replied. Andrew stopped right in front of her door. Just as she was about to thank him and say goodbye, he remembered something. "Oh, Caroline, Emily mentioned that she wanted me to take something from you." "Right, let's go." As Andrew followed her into the house, Caroline couldn't help but notice how good he smelled and how well his tailored clothes fit his athletic figure. She felt the prick of jealousy for her daughter again. "You're so cozy," Andrew remarked as she entered the apartment. "Are you expecting guests?" "Not really," Caroline replied, waving the question away. Andrew chuckled. "You deserve someone wonderful, you know. I don't know where Emily gets her pickiness from, but you're incredible." Caroline felt her cheeks redden. "Flattery won't help you find my approval of her whims," she joked, trying to push down her emotions. "No flattery," Andrew said sincerely. "If I were on the market, I'd have a hard time matching you." Caroline laughed nervously, offering him tea and cookies as she pulled out the items Emily had asked for. "They're on the top shelf of the closet." "The white bag," she instructed. Andrew opened the closet, and before he could react, a small basket fell on his head. The impact caused him to take a step back, and its contents, delicate underwear, spilled out and scattered across the floor. The soft rustle of lace against wooden boards was unnaturally loud in the silence. Andrew froze in place, his hand instinctively reaching for his head as he considered what had just happened. An awkward laugh and surprise escaped his lips as he lowered his gaze to the floor, his cheeks slightly flushed at what he saw. Caroline rushed into the house and saw Andrew standing among the fragile things, his expression half amazed, half apologetic. "Oh my God," she exclaimed in horror. Andrew, trying to defuse the situation, said, "You have excellent taste, Caroline." Caroline covered her face with her hands and moaned, "I'm so ashamed of myself. First I had no luck with men, and now this." "You shouldn't be," Andrew replied. "Honestly, I'd love to see you in one." Caroline raised her head, her eyes meeting his. She was taken aback by his boldness, but something in his tone and the heat in his gaze made her pulse quicken. "Better yet," he continued, lowering his voice without them. Caroline's breath caught. She knew she should be insulted, but instead she felt braver. Standing up slowly, she began to undo the buttons on her blouse. Andrew's eyes widened slightly, but he didn't look away. The blouse slid off her shoulders, followed by her skirt. A few moments later, she stood before him in lacy lingerie. "You're stunning," Andrew murmured. Caroline's voice, husky and trembling, broke the tension. "Your turn." Andrew hesitated only a moment before he began to shed his outer clothing. The air between them crackled with a force neither of them had expected. Half an hour later, as Andrew got ready to leave, Caroline watched him from the doorway, conflicting emotions bubbling in her head. "I'll see you tomorrow, same time?" Andrew asked with a sly grin. Caroline nodded, a slight smile playing on her lips. "I'll be waiting."